yeah, they've made made my dream come true, so it was the best decision. Hello, my name's Natalie, and I'd like to talk a little bit about my journey with Vida Fertility. I first started my IVF journey when I was 38, so that was last year, and I started the process by looking into my options, and I realised that doing the IVF process in my own country, in the UK, wasn't going to be an option. It was quite expensive in this country, as well as our healthcare system doesn't fund single parents to do the IVF process. I decided to do it on my own after a relationship breakdown and just not meeting the right person, and I've always wanted to be a mum. So when I was approaching 40, I decided to do the process on my own. So I actually heard of a single parent, a girl who had tried 3 attempts of IVF within the UK. All were unsuccessful. On her last attempt, she decided to do IVF in Spain. Due to the high success rates out there, she decided to give it one last go. She did her IVF journey in Alicante, and it was successful on her 4th attempt. So that first kind of sparked my interest in Spain, and then I soon realised that Spain has a really high success rate, and I'd already been back and forth to Alicante on various holidays out there, so I was already familiar with the surroundings. And then I came across Vida Fertility, so I booked a long weekend to Spain, to Alicante with my friend. I visited the clinic, and I was really impressed by the facilities that they had there. The clinic itself was really modern and really up to date, and the team were just so welcoming and friendly. They made me feel really relaxed, and I had an appointment with one of the doctors there who offered me really honest advice, which I really appreciated. And I initially decided to do 1 round of insemination, artificial insemination with a donor sperm, and that unfortunately was unsuccessful. I had a follow-up appointment with my doctor, and we both decided that a round of IVF would be the best chance for me in my situation. So I proceeded with that. It was really good communication back and forth from Vida the whole time. I had to go for some tests in the UK, and then I was all ready to go. I booked a 3-week holiday out to Alicante with my mum, and went back and forth to the clinic, and I had various hormone injections. It was a daunting process doing it on my own, but every time I visited the clinic, it was like visiting a friend. The team would give me hugs every time I was there. They were just so warm, welcoming, and really professional as well. So that made the whole journey a lot easier and more manageable. I completed the process there. I came back home, and the 2-week wait to take the pregnancy test was torture. I went back to work. I had no symptoms, and I didn't know if it had been a success. So I waited the time to take the test. Vida was there in the meantime for support. Luckily the first attempt was successful. And I had no eggs, no embryos left to freeze. He was my only one, which worked, and that was everything I wanted. So I found out the news, and then I visited Alicante, I think maybe 6 weeks after, for my first scan, which was included in the package. And it was lovely to share that first scan, hearing his heartbeat for the first time with the team there. They made it so special for me, and I'm so grateful that I decided to go with them. I think, the desire to become a mum, if it's there, it doesn't go away. and even though being a single parent brings challenges, I just would recommend anyone thinking about it to go for it, because it's the best thing in the world. And I'm so glad that I decided to go with Vida, and yeah, they've made my dream come true, so it was the best decision. Thank you